You have these ideas that feel so right, like they were made for you. You can see it so clearly. The vision is there. You feel that surge of aliveness, that certainty that this is it. And then weeks pass, months, and it's still just sitting there in your head. Still just a vision you keep returning to without ever moving it into the world. This isn't about motivation. It's not about discipline. There's something else happening. Something you're not seeing. And if you don't understand what's actually going on, you'll keep having ideas that never leave the vision stage. What's actually happening is that you're confusing the light with the ground beneath. The pattern goes like this. The idea comes. Maybe you're in the shower. Maybe you're walking. Maybe something just clicks and suddenly you see it. The whole thing, clear as day. So what do? You start living in it. Imagining what it will look like when it's done. How it will feel. How your life will change. You feel that warmth, that pull, that sense of arrival, like you finally found ground that could hold you. And that feeling is real. The idea coming to you means you've landed somewhere that actually resonates, somewhere that touches what's true in you. The idea wouldn't come if you couldn't arrive there as yourself. But this is where it gets messy, where people stay stuck for years. And I know it best for myself. Because euphoria wants action. But euphoria is not action. The vision wants to be born into the world, but the vision alone cannot carry itself there. You see the sun, you feel its warmth in your imagination, and you want to skip the whole fucking middle and just be there already. But you can't. And when you try, when you keep staring at the sun, expecting to arrive there through vision alone, you stay stuck. You stay in the idea while your roots never deepen, your trunk never strengthens, and eventually the idea fades. Not because it wasn't real, but because you never grew toward it. But what makes this even harder, when you have the idea, you see the sun, you're staring up at it, feeling its warmth, wanting to be up there, basking in the fullness of what you've envisioned, but you're not at the top yet. You're still the seed in the soil. And the seed doesn't teleport to the treetop, doesn't skip the shadow and the slow uncertain pushing upward through resistance. Sometimes there's wind that lifts things up fast, sure. But most of the time you don't get the wind. You get the soil. You get the slow push upward through what resists. And that process doesn't give you the euphoria, doesn't give you the clarity up front. You're down in the foundation where the roots must dig, where the next step isn't obvious, where you're just pushing through without knowing if you're even going in the right direction yet, where you have to develop the skill of translating the vision into action. And that's a completely different skill than having the vision in the first place. The tree that stands tall now, scattering its seeds across the wind, it started as a tiny sprout, barely visible, struggling through dense undergrowth, competing for light, pushing through soil that resisted. No one would look at the sprout and believe it could become a tree. But it knew something. It trusted the process, didn't abandon itself because the canopy wasn't visible yet, kept pushing up when it couldn't see the light. Most people never make it past this point. They stay in the idea. They stay in the euphoria. They keep staring at the sun while their roots never deepen, their trunk never strengthens. And eventually, the idea fades. Not because it wasn't real, but because they never grew toward it. What makes this even harder, what keeps people stuck even when they want to move, is that we live in a world of mirrors. Everywhere you turn, there's light, new opportunities, new projects, new directions, reflections that look like the sun. And you think maybe this is it. Maybe this is the thing that's actually mine. So you start growing toward it. You commit energy, time, hope. You start building, but it's cold, doesn't carry weight, doesn't last because it's not the sun. It's a mirror. A thin reflection of someone else's light, refracted through the noise, through the impulse to keep up, through the fear of missing out. The mirror sun promises a faster road, a shortcut, a way to avoid the shadow and get to the light now. But it's not real growth. It's motion without foundation. And without foundation, nothing lasts. The real sun, the one that comes from inner nearness, from actual alignment with what's yours. It's broad and warm, doesn't flicker, doesn't demand you to rush. It invites you to grow. But seeing the real sun, seeing which light is actually yours, that asks something of you. Going inward, slowing down enough to feel what's actually calling you, what's actually resonating, what's actually yours, and not just what the world is reflecting back at you. And most people can't do that. Not because they don't want to, but because going inward means facing the shadow, means accepting that the path isn't immediately clear, means sitting with uncertainty, with the discomfort of not knowing if this will work, with the heaviness of choosing a direction when the world offers infinite reflections. So how do you actually do this? How do you grow toward the sun without getting lost in the euphoria, without chasing every mirror that catches your eye, without abandoning the idea when it doesn't instantly work? There is a practice, something I've learned through doing this wrong more times than I can count. It's what I call the leveling of stillness. And what I mean by that is you're holding the vision. You can still feel it pulling at you, but you're not staring at it anymore, not expecting to arrive there instantly. You're releasing the urgency that says it has to happen now, has to be clear now, has to make sense now. Instead, you're turning your attention to the ground, to the foundation, to the work that must be done here, in the place where you are now, even if the sun isn't shining on it yet, holding both at once somehow. You must believe in the sun's warmth while accepting that growth happens in stages, that you can't skip the foundation just because you've seen the heights. Some paths in life are illuminated from the start. You take a step and the sun is already there. But other paths begin in a deep shaded valley. And those paths ask you to stay when it's unclear, to keep pushing up even when you can't see the light yet, even when you're wondering if you're just wasting time, if this was ever real or just a momentary feeling you got caught up in. And the truth most people don't want to hear, not every attempt will lead you to the sun. Sometimes you grow in a direction and it doesn't work. Sometimes the light you thought was the sun turns out to be a mirror. Sometimes the foundation you build leads somewhere else entirely. But that's not failure. That's experience. That's clarity. That's how you learn which direction holds the real light. And the next time you try, you do it with more resilience, more wisdom, more certainty about what's real and what's refracted. Because clarity doesn't come before action, it comes through action. You won't know if the path is right until you've walked it. So, what you actually do next? Not the whole vision, not the end state where you're standing in full light, but the first tangible thing, the thing that you can touch today. And then you do that. And then the next. And you accept that many of these steps will be in the shadow, that the process isn't pretty, isn't the euphoric part. But you keep going because you trust what called you in the first place, because you know the sun stays, the vision stays. That warmth of knowing this idea matters. It doesn't go away, even when you're deep in the shadow, struggling through the foundation, unsure if you're growing in the right direction. The sun doesn't leave. If the idea came from real nearness, from real alignment, from a place in you that knows what matters, it will still be there. The light doesn't abandon you, but it doesn't wait passively either. It waits as a task, as an invitation, as something that asks you to prove your commitment through the work, through the leveling of stillness, through the patience to grow upward one ring at a time, one layer at a time, without knowing if you're even building something that will hold. And when you finally break through into that light, when you've grown tall enough, when you've built the foundation strong enough to hold the fulfillment you imagined, that's not the end. That's just the beginning of the next growth. Because there are always more heights. Because fulfillment isn't a destination, it's a state you enter when you're growing in alignment with what's true. All those mirrors, all those reflections, you keep chasing them because they promise a faster route, a way to skip the shadow. But they're not the sun, not your sun. And abandoning the idea because it didn't instantly work, expecting the euphoria to carry you all the way through without ever digging into the ground, that keeps you stuck. Never arriving, always beginning but never rooting. The idea is the signal. The action is the skill. The stillness is the trust. And the sun? The sun is waiting for you to grow. So if this hits you, I want to know which part landed hardest. So drop it in the comments. And if you want more of this, I write deeper on these topics every week. So check it out below. Thanks for being here, and I see you very soon again.